So what's coming in here for you is Two of Swords, King of Swords, Nine of Swords, Hierophant. A lot of you might be dealing with an air sign. I do see two air signs already. One that is an older person that might be associated with a younger person. So there's an element of like family. There's an element of family, and there's an element of, in general, like an air sign. An air sign associated with, well, two air signs or one that you are really close to, and there's a younger air sign associated with them. So that's what I'm sensing here with the King of Swords and the Knight of Swords. So it could also be somebody that you've known for quite some time. When, in the beginning stages of your relationship or your interaction with them, I do feel that they were like very young, very naive. They might have also been like, I do feel like they were very impulsive. They were very, very impulsive because, the Knight of Swords are the fastest moving knights in the entire deck. So they rush into things without, thinking about the consequences, or without thinking through, or without having a game plan. So they wage war without proper equipment. And they might have like said things that were very, very hurtful. So for those of you who are in love relationships with an air sign, I do feel it might be a love relationship situation, mainly because we have the Three of Swords. So for those of you who have been in love relationships with an air sign, or who are still going through it, I do feel that this person is somebody you might have known for quite some time. At the beginning stages, they were really unsupportive. They might have like, cut you down with their words. They might have been like quite impulsive. And what you're starting to see now is that they're starting to come around. They're a lot more emotionally mature and a lot more stable. And they're so it seems like in the recent months they have changed so much. So whatever you remembered about this person, I do feel that they have grown and matured into a king, okay? So this can be like a male or female air sign, and the air signs are Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. So I do feel that whatever it was that was the problem between the two of you, you've realized how much they have changed, and you are kind of like you're feeling as if you potentially have made a wrong choice by not persevering in that relationship. I'm sensing for a lot of you who might have like broken up with this air sign very recently, you are thinking about this air sign because this air sign is crowning your reading. And I do feel that, once upon a time you were in a relationship, a loving relationship with an air sign. And at this point in your life, a lot of you might have. Okay, so let me just see here, because I do feel there are three different scenarios, and I'm trying to see what's like the strongest messages coming through based on the other cards, because I'm getting here, this was a quite a serious relationship, and it broke up, it fell apart because they weren't emotionally mature enough, okay? And you dated other people, and you realize that the other people didn't really, want the same things that you want. That, contrary to the expression, there weren't many fishes in the sea. So you're thinking about this air sign from your past, and you're thinking about cycling back into their life, is what I'm sensing. And the advice here, though, there is warning against this, mainly because I do feel here we have the Hierophant in the reverse position, which indicates to me that, this situation itself is not going to lead to stability. If you are coming back in, mainly because you feel like life has really dealt a blow to your heart, and you haven't been really successful with, your dating situation, I do sense that it is really problematic coming into, back into this person's life, because it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to lead to anything stable. It's not going to lead to a marriage situation. And at the same time, it's a little bit problematic. Okay, so that's the first scenario. The second scenario is that I do feel, for those of you who have not been in a relationship with an air sign, there is an air sign in your midst, and it is somebody that you are recently, like you have recently started dating, and you are recently like in a business relationship or in a business type of situation with. So if it is strictly business and they are older than you, and older than you, like by a few months, a few years, but like they're visibly mature and they seem like they're emotionally, physically a little bit more mature than you, then I do feel that this business situation can work out very, very well. I do sense that this air sign is very, very verbose normally. In a business situation, though, I do feel that you have been burned in the past, so you're being extra cautious about this situation. You're taking more initiative. I feel like a lot of you are taking more initiative because the air sign wants somebody who is taking more initiative, so they're taking a step back. So it's sort of like meeting of the same minds, okay? You've been burned in the past, so you're trying to approach this business partnership with a lot more, like, with a lot more initiative. And then air signs are very, very decisive. They have always been. And instead, they're like, okay, well, this, cancers you want to take over. So they're taking a step back. So it's like a dance between the two of you, and you're able to navigate one another very, very well. And as a result of it, I do feel a lot of momentum, a lot of traction is being gained between your partnership, or in the process of partnering up with one another. You both are arriving at you both are gaining traction in the business environment. So there's a lot of work that was accomplished in a very, very short time. So this is a fruitful business relationship. I do sense at the heart of it, there is a lot of anxiety here. A lot of you have trust issues, and a lot of you are cycling through, worst case scenarios once again, because at the heart of the reading, we do have the Three of Swords, which indicates that, you've been burned in the past and you're not really looking for that to happen to you again. So you're very, very blocked, and it is really difficult for you to trust people at this point. You have high hopes and expectation for this partnership, and you are very, like, almost like enchanted by this air sign, So you're kind of hoping for the best, but deep down you are really mired in a lot of anxiety, and it's sort of like all your eggs are in one basket, and you can't really backtrack at this point in time, okay? I do feel, if it's a business environment, I do sense that you're going to be okay. And I believe I mentioned this for Taurus as well, like, but it's the opposite. So in a business environment, I do feel a lot of you are going to gain traction, or a lot of you are going to gain new ground. If you are planning to expand with this air sign, I do feel like you're building up an empire, you're expanding land, and you are also like expanding your empire. So it's looking very, very fruitful on the business environment. If it is in love, I do sense that it can be very unstable. I do sense that it's sort of like, that devil card, being tied to a situation that promises you security. Okay, so if this is a love situation and you're running back to this person, and I do feel that you're not going to get the warm reception that you were hoping for, because I do feel this is interesting, and it's your external environment, whoever it is that you're hoping to go back to. It's an air sign, but it's a very, very like the color is very red, which indicates like passion, ambition. It also indicates like physical energy, which is basically a lot of social dating. Okay, so I do feel this is somebody that is like turning their back on you, that they're not waiting around for you to come back. They've got other options. And I do feel that a lot of you might be in a situation where you feel that I think I messed up, because this person meant everything to me and I let a good thing go. So I'm going to, go back in and say exactly just that, and hopefully they'll be touched and they will take me back. Well, if it's a love situation, it's not looking that great. So, you know, I would just advise you to do that anyways, mainly because at the end of our lives, I feel like I say this in every video, at the end of our lives, it's the things that we don't do that we usually regret. And I've talked to a lot of like elderly people about this situation, and they mentioned that it's generally true. It's like in the midst of it, we feel like I shouldn't do this because I will make a fool out of myself. And what if the other person doesn't reciprocate? What if I'm rejected? But when you think about it, it's the things that you don't do that you're going to regret by the end of your lives. And a lot of people have confirmed this. And it's easier said than done, but I do sense that if you feel a certain way, if you feel that this person, was is the right one for you, and it is really important to tell them because it's important for them to know. It's important for you to give yourself that opportunity to get a second chance with the person, and sincerity actually will get you very far. So what is going to happen first, I feel, is in the outcome card, the other person is very, very attractive to the opposite sex at this point, okay? They're like done up, they're very well groomed. In the past, they might have been a little bit sloppy, impulsive, but then since you've been gone, they've really like, revamped their style. They're very stylish coming through at this point. They are very well received by the opposite sex. A lot of people are interested in them. Okay, a lot of people are interested in them as a wife material. For those of you whose the air sign might be females, for those of you who the air signs might be male, I do feel that they are seeking a lot more stability. They are wanting, they want a woman who will hold her own. They want an empress. Okay, they don't really want pages. They want an empress. They want a very, very established person. So if you are coming back in on the heels of this, okay, on the heels of heartache, you're thinking about coming back to this air sign, or you're starting to realize that this air sign is the one for you. So you are sincere about wanting them back into your life. And I do feel for a lot of you, you wanted to establish your success first. Success is coming through here with the Six of Wands, which indicates that, at this point you're ready. You want to come back and offer them something concrete. I do feel that they're going to be very, very standoffish, and they want you to follow through. Otherwise, they're not going to budge, okay? So this is a card of lack of information. So if you're coming in declaring your love for them, I do feel they are going to, be like a little bit nonchalant, and then just to see if you're going to go through with it. They're not going to promise you anything, and they're not going to commit to you. At the same time, I do feel as well, we have the Hangman in the reverse position. You have a very, very small time frame, like window of time, in which you can re-enter this person's life, okay? So make every second count, make every moment count, and be at your most sincere. Because I do feel that they're not wasting time anymore, okay? So for those of you in general who are not at all involved with an air sign, who are just going about your life, without an air sign presence in your life, I do feel that for this month in general, a lot of emphasis is going to be on communication, and especially truthful communication, okay? So I do feel there is a little bit of like a thwarted energy when it comes to your work environment. Somebody is not communicating effectively. They're kind of leaving you in the dark. And you're instead of asking them, like, what exactly is it that you want me to do? You're kind of like taking, it upon yourself to run with it without knowing exactly what it is that your supervisors might want. And as a result, there is going to be a situation where you are going to have to redo some projects, okay? So for the next 2 weeks, I do feel that communication is going to be very, very important, okay? Mutual communication, it's always important across the board with all interpersonal relationships. But just to save yourself the trouble, I do sense that the environment that you're working in is very like non-traditional in some way. The sword energies are very like eccentric characters. We also have the Hierophant in the reverse position, and we also have we also have the Empress, which indicates to me this is not like if you think about a standard institution or a standard company, it's very male dominated, typically very male dominated. It's very like hierarchical, and it's also very like rigid. There are like memos, there are like, procedural manuals of how to do things. In this environment, it's everything but. So I do feel that it's very non-traditional. People have a lot of room for creativity. The It's all about exchange of information. It's all about guidance, mentorship, teaching. And there's also the empress, which is not a traditional ruler if you think about it. So there's like a great emphasis on wanting to, enhance knowledge, but also to uplift humanity in some way. And I do sense that this is the environment that you find yourself in, and it looks very fruitful. It looks like it's very in alignment with your water sign, so it is a very good environment and you're going to thrive greatly, okay? Same with dating. I do sense that there has been a very big shift. You've you've like moved on from very, very emotionally draining relationships with fire signs, a lot of you, and you are approaching relationships in the future more on an intellectual level. You want somebody to have a very, very strong intellectual rapport with you before you will invest in them emotionally. So I do feel that it is going to be a very, very good second half of August for you guys in terms of love, relationships in general. For those who are dating or for those who are single, I do feel that you're refining your criteria, and you do want somebody who will spark intellectual curiosity in you. All right. So have fun dating, Cancers. Good luck with your job.